Ragnarok Online 3 released a trailer that actually looks good. I did cover it in my last video, and people that have played Ragnarok before are probably going to come back for the nostalgic reasons. For many of you guys, Ragnarok was probably one of your first MMOs and the reason you guys got into the Ragnarok genre, but now they're releasing a nostalgic style game which looks, from what I've seen so far, incredibly nice. Good dungeon raids, the classes look good, the gameplay looks good, and they're bringing back the nostalgic feel to it. However, there are some major issues that we gotta talk about because it is being developed and stuff by Gravity. They don't have the best track record. They've been releasing many Ragnarok games on App Store recently in recent years, which have been horrible, extreme monetization, and that's the biggest concern that people have. How will they deal with this game? And this game is unfortunately, for now, gonna be banned in EU, so we gotta talk about it. So the first thing and the reason why it is banned in EU is for several reasons. Many of you guys are probably speculating that it's monetization. Shady monetization is the reason why it's banned in EU. Now, it is a part of it, but it's also something called GDPR. So basically in Europe, we have strong privacy laws, like strict privacy laws that game companies or companies in general have to respect. If they don't, they get insane fines, which basically means that it all depends on how companies let users like us that play the game access our data. And the law basically says that us users should be able to access, delete, and control all our personal data, which we put in when we actually play a game, which would be like your email, your name, all that stuff. And that means that all these companies that actually, publish in Europe needs to have these systems in place, which requires, of course, more systems, more opt-in mechanics, secure systems, all that stuff. And if you don't do it, you get a hefty fine from EU. So Gravity was like, we don't want to deal with this. We don't deal with this privacy stuff. We don't want to make these systems. It's a massive hassle. And that's why most of the games that you see from Gravity that they have launched, and many Eastern games only launched their game, if you look on the mobile games and other Ragnarok games, only launch in NA and C. That is the main reason EU is usually dodged, is because of this main law. Also monetization, we're going to get into it, but because of this privacy law, they don't want to go through the hassle, and that's why they're like, we're just going to launch in NA and in C. However, if we've seen in many MMOs that do good and have been doing good, we will see that EU usually has a huge market cap. NA has smaller market cap, while EU will have a bigger market cap, which means more players, but it is just a hassle and they want to deal with the fines and other systems. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, of course, shady monetization. If you guys played Ragnarok games and other games from Asia or China or whatever, you will know that they have extreme monetization. And let's be real, other Ragnarok games does have it. You have, hidden loot boxes, random loot boxes, systems for upgrades, enhancement, VIP subscriptions, VIP levels, level up systems, battle passes, time gating. Bro, I can go all day, right? And in Europe, we're actually getting a more stricter law when it comes to monetization. But we know that certain countries in Europe has strict laws where it is actually banned. Like Belgium has loot boxes banned. I think Netherlands also has it banned, which is tied to real money and RNG. So we're getting more stricter laws when it comes to monetization. And it also means most likely that this Ragnarok game is going to have some extreme monetization, probably some gacha stuff, some time gate stuff, and loot stuff. We don't know. This is just speculation for me, but most likely it is tied to hidden costs and dark patterns, which will lead to having issues with EU again. So not only do they have a problem with the data that they collect, but they're also going to have some monetization, which is probably not allowed in certain countries. So they're like, we're not going to deal with the hassle. Does this mean you cannot play in EU? Now, there are two things that I want to talk about before we go further as a EU player. Now, you can always play the game via the VPN. Yes, They say don't do it, but if you want to, you can play any game that you want with a VPN. However, the server is not going to be in EU, so you're going to have higher ping, probably NA or in Asia. But it is always a way, if you really want to play Ragnarok, you will be able to play it with the correct VPN and sign up. So that's not an issue if you really want to play it. And the second thing is they have talked about these issues that people are concerned about the EU stuff. Are EU players going to be able to play? The official news so far was first, it is going to be not playable in EU. The new news is when the Pioneer test will happen, they will give new news regarding the EU servers, which means if they are doing an EU server, they have to partner up with a publisher. They don't have a publisher that they work with. I know they work with other publishers before. And they have like Nexon, I think they work with, or other basically publishers. Like, so publishers are basically a company that publishes games, because as a company, it's not as easy to publish games in Europe or NA. You usually have to have a publisher, which is a certain company that has deals with EU, that has platforms that can provide everything that you need and follow the laws for the game, so they can publish the game somewhere else. A lot of Eastern games do this when it comes to their games. Like they have Amazon, for example, for Throne Liberty, that publishes the game for them. So they will do all the legal stuff, all that juice. So you need to have a publisher, and the publisher probably needs to change the way the monetization work, needs to know about the data systems and have them in place so they can publish in EU. So there's still a chance that we will get a EU release if the demand is there and they go through all the troubles. And that means also they probably have to change some of the monetization, which could be a really good thing for people that want to play in EU. But that will also mean that we might get a different type of game from NA and from C. So it'll be interesting how they deal with it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really enjoyed the trailer for the game. I'm definitely going to be checking out Ragnarok, even though it doesn't release in EU. But I am going to be very off the monetization, because not only the monetization from the trailers, we also seen there's going to be autoplay, right? There's going to be auto options, and it's going to be most likely a mobile first type of MMO, which means, because it is going to be cross play with PC and mobile. And usually when it comes to Ragnarok in general, and I know the first Ragnarok was PC, but if we have to look at the recent launches in with Ragnarok franchise, we've seen that's been mobile with some PC clients, and most likely this one will also be mobile. It seems very friendly, mobile friendly. Even if you look at the trailers, you'll see this certain amount of skills, and they make a lot of money to mobile, so they're probably going to develop a mobile but also a PC client. So not going to be PC first. So for some PC players, it might also feel very mobile-y, very gimmicky, with like VIP systems and stuff, and it's going to have auto battle, which I don't like at all. So going into this, I am excited. I want to see this new Ragnarok Online 3. A lot of nostalgia, but I do think that they might just be playing on the nostalgia to make some money, and if they don't get EU servers and stuff like that, and this is not in place, I don't see this game doing good, because that just means it's going to do some shady monetization systems. It's not going to be good. It's probably going to end up being really pay to win, even though they have good systems, good raids, good dungeons and stuff. I don't think I'll be able to enjoy it like other people have enjoyed Ragnarok for a long time. But let me know what you guys think. We guys be checking it out. If you're releasing EU or not, if you're watching from EU, use a VPN. If you're playing from NA, you can check out the game when it launches. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Check out the video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.